Ну что, привет всем любителям вампирятинки. Я не думаю, что мой голос сильно будет вас нервировать. Наверное, будет. Подглючиваю. Кстати, что не говорите, а может в тройке это шедевр одежды. Чем делать задание? Сначала всех лечить. И там крыло.
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. What do you want?
Мисс, ты мне дайте пятая нога. Больной. Куда пошел?
You again. What do you want? Do you need medical help? Yeah. So you can sell them on the black market? Sorry. I'll only... Fair enough, Doctor. Goodbye, Mr. Digby. Evening, Rufus.
Evening, Mr. Reed.
Do you need help?
A real doctor caring about me.
A real doctor treats everyone the same, Rufus.
I don't know what to say. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Heard anything about Sean Hampton's shelter lately?
I rarely go near there, but rumour has it the place is restricted. Only members chosen by Mr. Hampton are allowed in.
Are you worried about the sanitary situation?
I never really felt safe in this town anyway. Now's the first time that everyone seems to feel the same way as me.
Is anything worrying you right now?
Gunshots? I hear them every night. Who's firing? Who are they shooting at? That's what's scary.
Are you alone? So you...
No. I mean, yes. I live on the street.
This city...
I've known worse.
Why do you think she's...
I can't say.
So long, Rufus.
Ай-яй-яй. Не успел я выпить. Нужно делать лечение людям. Очень мягко. Пойти налево. Не, кувалдометр, конечно, это просто шедевр. Как некоторые говорят, это читерское оружие. Робики, того нет. Да ну нафиг. отбор. Фига у меня. Гондурасы. Ну что ж, пойдем дальше. Да, повторная перекачка, то, что нужно было сделать, могло. Только вот побольше. Не могу понять, что так комп мотыляет. И что? А, да, тут. Забыл. Забыл. Ух ты. Где это тут? Не хочет меня выпустить из своей ловушки. Что это такое? Почему не барыг перси? Пойдем теперь. Отец родной, он мне позволил тут. Ах.
You must prepare, child, for the earth is bleeding and the harvest is upon us.
Stay away, whoever you are.
This is no time for petty quarrels, my champion. Can you not hear? The famished queen has awoken.
I am not your champion.
But of course you are, son. As surely as you are the blood of my blood.
I had to kill Mary.
I have known your pain, child. Do not succumb to.
Не покоряйся.
I dismiss you now.
The land calls for a champion.
Мне нужен добрый защитник.
Everyone needs you.
Всем и каждому.
Silence.
Ты мне душу наизнанку вынул. Эти калеки. Пойдемте, господа. По варианту. Иду. Поболеет ведь. Страдание — это жизнь. Да ты что? Иди сюда. Все присосался. Вот это. Просто. А ну, вперед. Заколол.
They want war. I'll show them war.
Whatever this poor woman did, nobody deserves this kind of punishment.
It's mine now. This is my territory.
Крови не хватает. Но в следующем. Где-то я тут крыса видел.
I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable.
Тиши. Ты будешь волонтер. По-нашему пионера. Да и
stupid newborn!
Затрахали. Ты вампиры теперь. Значит, будем искать дальше. Я знаю, что... Ты не боись. Закрыт. Штраф предупредил. Падение непорядочности. Переваты. Дрянки. Здорово, что происходит? Могу. Точно. Это, конечно, хорошо. Изготовление масс. Рейтинг. Микропник.
It's locked.
Почему? Такое чувство, как будто идет от группы. После дождичка. Полный. И немножко и в России будет там революция.
can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Где-то здесь.
So this is where she lives. What a splendid house.
Богатая. Теперь мои. Глобальным диалогом.
Dr. Reed, welcome. How are you?
As good as one can be, considering the
Просто
circumstances.
морят.
Yes.
Yes,
Death and
indeed.
affliction seem prevailing themes of late. Please, come in. We have much to discuss.
I hope I haven't disturbed you.
Not at all. Actually, I was counting on you visiting me tonight.
How strange, this painting. Beautiful, melancholic, yet with a haunting dignity.
Indeed. A long time ago, a friend asked me to paint this for him. But I kept it in the end.
I did not know you were a
Англия в
painter, my
разрухе
lady.
There
после
are many
чумы.
things you do not know about me, young Ekon.
Что уже делать?
Please, call me Jonathan.
Please excuse my behavior, Jonathan. I tend to tease my friends when uneasy.
What is bothering you, my lady? Your letter was quite alarming.
We will talk about this in a few minutes. For now, I would like you to tell me about yourself. How have you been since we last met, my friend?
I came to the conclusion that my maker, whoever he might be, must be a powerful vampire. Certainly extremely old.
How have you reached this conclusion?
He is the only immortal I've seen appear in an ethereal form. His voice, his words seemed ancient. It was disturbing.
I am afraid you are right. The simple fact that your blood made Mary such a strong Ekon proves that you must be of ancient lineage.
I felt this power radiating like an aura every time he appeared.
Most ancestral vampires of England were killed by the Guard of Prewen half a century ago. I wonder who your maker could be.
You have no idea who he could be?
Some of the ancient ones fled England. Some may still be in hiding. All I know is you, my friend, are a pawn in some secret and obscure game of chess.
Да, вся жизнь игра. Кто-то изображает из себя шахматиста, а кто-то тотальную пешку.
My sister Mary. She was made a vampire in the same way I was. She was the one killing all those people everywhere I went.
Vengeance is a powerful force for those betrayed. Made vampire through careless error. Victims by surprise.
In the end, she implored me to put an end to her misery. But still, I felt I had taken her life twice.
I am so sorry for my accidental cruelty. Had I known your dear Mary was still alive, I would never have sent you to pray for her soul in that church.
There is no need to apologize, my lady. Your words have been most helpful in these difficult times.
Thank you, my friend. If only we could have guided your poor sister through her terrible nightmare.
I swear I did not intend that. If only I had known then how vampires are created.
That is the scientist speaking.
In
In truth, most of us do not know how it really works. Personally, I make sure my prey will not return to haunt me.
What do you mean?
I am merciless, Jonathan. I only feed on the dying, and I make sure they are dead before leaving their remains.
У нас одна такая, рыжеволосая.
I think I should ask the questions, your ladyship. After all, it was you who invited me to settle this most urgent of matters.
Fair enough, Jonathan. The situation is critical. We do not have the luxury for etiquette.
Please do not misunderstand me. I would be delighted to discuss mundane matters and idle trivialities.
If we survive the dark nights to come, we shall have all the time in the world to speak, you and I. For now, please follow me, Jonathan.
Ну, пойдем
I
посмотрим.
must say, your house
Шикарный
is
дом.
exquisite.
One of the advantages of living forever is having the time to be selective with one's furnishings. I took the liberty of having tea served.
You can still drink tea.
Can't keep it down, but I do so enjoy the aroma. Let us toast to make-believe. And of course to your health, Jonathan.
And to yours, my lady.
Please,
Помните
call me
все.
Elizabeth.
So, my lady, why truly did you invite me here?
I've been asked to deliver an official invitation to meet the Ascalon Club.
Давай сюда, нас в Аскалон потянули.
Who are they? Really?
They are the embodiment of vampire law in Britain. Some say they influence the destiny of the Empire. Some believe they merely protect it.
How many are they?
Only a small number of powerful and deceitful immortals. All of them entangled in a sticky web of shadow cabinets, influencing
Ну, в
trade.
принципе, да, если клуб они такой забахали.
Will they fight the guard of Priwen?
I doubt it. Fergal was Lord Redgrave's executioner forever and a day. By defeating that beast, you deprived them of a powerful weapon.
Заколбасили.
They have done nothing but impede my investigations since I became known to them. Why would they want to see me now?
I guess they now see you as Ascalon material. They must have found out what happened to your sister. Proof of the potent blood flowing through your veins.
I'm not sure I can accept their invitation. I have seen
Халява
their
какая.
handiwork. How Fergal the Beast imposed the club's law.
You have no choice, Jonathan. Even I would not openly defy Lord Redgrave, the chairman of the Ascalon Club.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave? Who is he?
Lord Redgrave is
меня,
the
Лорд.
founder and chairman of the Ascalon Club. Most mortals know
Кто-то
him as
его
the
знает
Earl
как
of Bristol.
Тафа.
He is rich and extremely
Yeah.
influential.
Have you met him?
Only on rare occasions, for he never goes outside the club. And women are not awarded membership, even immortals.
How old is he? How long has he been a vampire?
Lord
стал
Redgrave
кровосос.
claims to be the progeny of William Marshall, the most valiant knight who ever lived. If that is true, he could be very old.
How powerful is his reach?
The Ascalon Club may be the most influential secret society in England. Not all its members are immortals, but they are all very powerful.
They are not all immortals. How is that?
The club is mainly comprised of political figures who seek the safety and expansion of the Empire. The most loyal are
Они
awarded
еще, бляди, лезут и в политику. Терпи, бессмертные.
Any familiar or famous names?
As the richest, most relentless British tycoon, Aloysius Dawson is considered ideal Ascalon material and has been watched for years.
If you are convinced I must meet him, I will heed your advice.
Thank you, Jonathan. I understand your reluctance to brush shoulders with London's vampire elite. But we have no choice.
Is the situation that critical?
Yes. The Guard of Priwen has called for a second great hunt of our kind, and they will stop at nothing to eliminate us.
Will the Guard of Priwen and the Ascalon Club fight each other?
I doubt it. If Priwen really launched a great hunt, I think most of the Ekons I know would flee the country to escape the bloodbath.
Просто вампиры в полете.
I think I saw them kill an Ekon on the way to your house. They seem to have a list with names.
To launch another great hunt, they must have collected intelligence on vampire identities and whereabouts. They are a resourceful lot.
Мы дадим им отпор.
Should we fight back? I will not be hunted down like an animal again.
I admire your courage, Jonathan. But the best way to fight them is to put an end to the epidemic. This is the only way to clear the air.
What is a great hunt?
The first great hunt was launched about 75 years ago. In just a few nights, the Guard of Prewen located and destroyed most of the old British vampires.
Да, замочили.
How did you survive the first hunt?
I fled, Jonathan,
Бежал.
like most vampires who survived that slaughter. And I secretly came back when I was sure they had lost
Что
my
они
trail.
потеряли мой след. И что дальше? Тогда зачем начинать вторую войну?
Why start a second one?
Prewen has always seen us immortals as a
Стражи
threat
Прина
to
всегда считали нас
mankind.
бессмертными, угрозой обществу. Возможно, им кажется, что это мы стали причиной эпидемии. Что? Как считает? Вам стоит
You should flee
валить.
then. Leave London, the
Да,
country.
валите, валите,
I
мадам.
have seen the guard in action.
Я вам все
They are
дам.
merciless.
Your concern warms my heart, Jonathan. But fear not. If the situation gets too dangerous, I shall retreat to my secret Scottish manor. I could hide you in my luggage, if you wish.
Thank you for the
Мы
offer.
пойдем в
I shall
Шотландию,
keep it in mind, but I have
и
much
там
to
мы
do here.
скрывались.
There is a question
У
I
меня
must
возник
ask you.
вопрос, может ли лорд
Could
Red
Lord
Grave
Redgrave be my
есть мой
maker?
I doubt it. If
создатель?
Lord
Вряд ли.
Redgrave had made
Если
you
бы
his
лорд
progeny,
Редгрейв
you
сделал
would not
вас
have
своим
seemed so
потомком,
surprised when
то
you
не
demonstrated the
удивился.
strength of your lineage.
То ли я своего
Will I
создателя,
ever
а?
discover the identity of my maker?
Maybe not, Jonathan. We know for sure you were made by a powerful vampire.
Могущество, но многие из них давно покинули Англию. Каких
You have
зацепок,
no
мадам?
idea at all. You seem to know so many things about the secrets
Да,
of the
вы
vampire
столько знаете о мире
Even if I
вампиров,
had my
даже
suspicions, I would
если
not
бы я
dare give you a
когда-то
name so soon.
подозревала, то не
All I can say is
кого-то
this.
подозревала.
I will
Я
make inquiries
поведу
and
справки
keep
и
you
расскажу,
informed.
что это были вы,
Please forgive my bluntness, but I have to ask. Was it you?
создали меня.
Did you
Вы
make me?
создали
Oh,
меня.
Jonathan,
Вот
I
же,
know
я
you
знаю,
shall
вам не
always
дает
have a
покоя,
gnawing doubt about who
кто
made you an
сделал вас без.
immortal. But I swear, I had
Клянусь,
nothing to do with it.
это было не я. Ну, на этом хорошо. Замочу. Что будем делать?
What is the plan?
The plan is we both try to save this city, you and I. Go to Ascalon, accept their proposition, and use their influence to promote your agenda.
Так, мне надо вступить и воспользоваться их влиянием. Как поступите
What
вы?
will you do?
I still have contacts and old friends in this town. I shall make some inquiries and attempt to learn more of the
Постараюсь узнать
situation.
больше,
We need
что
clarity.
мне необходимо. Как я спасу Лондон.
How can I save London?
The epidemic is the
Главное,
priority. You must
Выяснить
find its origin and put an end to it. This is the best way to solve
это
the
лучший
crisis.
способ разрешить. Я должен
One day
найти
soon,
ответы.
I will have to find the answer to this mystery.
And I shall help you in your research, I promise. For now, you must go to the Ascalon Club and play their game.
Will I see you again at the Pembroke Hospital?
No, you will find me here if you need me. I shall conduct inquiries alone, and we can then share our discoveries.
Вы вернетесь в больницу, когда вы снова встретимся.
Will you not
Больница.
visit Pembroke again?
No, I must remain discreet and avoid attracting attention to Pembroke Hospital for the time being.
But how will you sustain yourself?
I shall not, Jonathan. Fear not. I'm used to it.
When will we meet again?
As soon as you meet Lord Redgrave, I suppose. Fear not, my dear. I shall only be a heart's beat away.
I want to thank you for all your support and your help, my lady.
Could you do me a last great favor and call me Elizabeth?
I should be honored, my lady.
Then it is settled. Finally, some good news in these dark hours.
Thank you. I appreciate the advice.
Благодарю за ваш.
Prepare myself to meet this Lord Redgrave now.
How thrilling to meet the Earl of Bristol in the flesh, so to speak.
Something tells me you're not very keen on the man.
Don't get me wrong. The gentlemen of the Ascalon Club are honourable, but their attitude and opinions are somewhat antiquated.
I see.
As long as they deny access to female applicants, I will leave them to their antediluvian considerations as to the natural order of things. Jonathan, promise me you'll be careful.
Of course.
Вы мне нужны. Живой.
Why the fear?
А не мертвый.
Look at me, Jonathan.
I am.
I mean,
Между ними есть.
really look at me, young Ekon.
Насилие.
We may be deceptive by nature,
В
but this heart
природе.
of mine has always told the truth.
Так что она всегда говорит ему правду. Элизабет. Пусть.
Go, my friend, but come back to me soon.
Тебе на глаз. Влад, куда выходишь? Назад заходи. Должен выходить. В этой красивой хате. Как? Все-таки взял и вышел. Прям сам вышел. Музыка здесь, конечно, красивая, ничего не скажешь. Не знаю. На мой взгляд, Англия должна была быть такой. Нам нужен дом осмотреть. Посмотрим. Все общак. Второй этаж. Большой. Интересно. Так, ну посмотрим. Ну это как раз получается то, что и все происходит. Так. Я это сделаю вот так вот. Приятно прочитать, да? Хочет дочка судьбы. Устраивающий. Кровавые ночи. Так, посмотрим.
It's locked.
Здравствуй. Увидели. Эй. Бренд. Прикольно. Идет. Так что прикольно. Спустимся вниз и посмотрим, что там есть. Что-то не того. Может быть. Это просто описанный фильм. Так, домик красивый, ничего не скажешь. Надо колыхалку-то улучшить. Больно такая она мощная. Повысить выносливость. Убежим туда. Да поговорим.
Hello again, Jonathan. To what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
Sorry to disturb you again, but could you spare me a few minutes?
Of course, my dear. Always a pleasure to speak with you.
Do you think we shall ever see better days? Or at least better nights?
I know not, Jonathan. I have seen some horrid days in my long lifetime. Experience has taught me that one cannot outrun the fates.
Will you tell me your story one day, Lady Ashbury?
One of them, perhaps. I have had so many lives, Jonathan. Eternity may not be enough to relate them all.
When all of this is over, the war and the epidemic, we could leave the city for a while. Travel around Europe, you and I.
Traveling is always so complicated for us poor creatures of the night. But yes, I would be glad to travel the world with you, my dear.
Да, я же говорю, у него он неровно к ней дышит.
Do you know if the epidemic has affected many people in the West End?
I confess I've been more concerned by events in the East End. The wealthy have more efficient ways of dealing with infection.
But this is no common epidemic.
That is true. I must tell my daughter to stay at home for a few days. But the girl is stubborn and fiercely independent, much like her mother.
А у нее дочь есть.
Concerning your investigation,
Yes?
are you truly seeking to identify my maker?
I cannot promise you anything, but yes. I am conducting some research of my own.
Она будет нам помогать искать,
Goodbye, Elizabeth.
кто создал вас. Ну вот так вот. Странная вещь. Это дерево, это шедевр. Только тупые уничтожают дерево, лаковые паркет, не хотят ремонтировать его, говорят, это говно. Говно то, что вы сделали в данный момент. А то, что паркет, это красиво, это красота.
So, time to visit the Ascalon Club.
Мимо красненькой машины. Наверное, ее машина. Это же типа ступеньки, на что можно насыпать, а на что нельзя. Это кашля. Отлично, плечо. Эй. Теперь закройте. Пока. Он нельзя. Тут пойдем. Кто-то где-то ходит.
It's locked, all right.
Он стоит. Так, ну что? Там бойня идет, полным ходом. Мы не можем помочь, да? Идем. Да?
That was the vampire I saw earlier. This war takes no prisoners.
Crush the leech ball! Some of that? You
Что за как? Прошу прощения. Я знаю. Лентяй и брат из братства полагают, что ихоры не вампиры, не Каля, а нечто другое. Я знаю одно. Каждый ихор должен быть уничтожен любым средствами сразу после обнаружения. Подпись Европодпись. А вы что думали? Я в жопу, что ли, вас буду? Это вы вон там в зеркало смотрите и говорите, куда вы. У меня там, конечно, глотки-то луженые. Орет и орет. Я даже знаю, почему некоторые, на кого я подписан, почему они не здороваются со мной, когда я захожу. Подобные высказывания послушают меня, сразу мутновато. Как эти дни.
It's locked.
Европодпилем. Даже первый пьян. Твою мать. Ага.
Good evening, my...
You look ill, Miss Swan. Well, there you have it.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Miss Swan.
Все здорово, да?
Come on, Barrett, you know the game you play. Can't you just let me have a way this
Дверь открыл.
Come on, we can
Good evening, Harry. May I come in?
Sure. Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
So, may I ask...
I'm not bothered.
Goodbye, young man.
Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
Тоже здорово. Не ожидал, надо увидеть. Чуть душу не вытрус. Так. Ой. Куда нахрен? Это она так перед смертью взрывает.
Protection against malevolence and trickery.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game you play for peace of mind. Can't you just let me have a way this week?
Что-нибудь из товаров появилось, да? Не падайте.
Welcome back, Jonathan. Do you need anything?
How are things going?
The dispensary is fine.
Yes. Have they threatened you?
No.
How are things going in
The dispensary is fine.
Yes. Have they threatened you?
No, but I have...
Do you need...
I'm a professional nurse. Rest assured, I'll ask for your help if I need it.
Are you not afraid?
I'm more...
Do you trust me?
You forced me to resign after you caught me trying to save a dying patient. Of course I trust you. You're a blackmailer, just like me.
Show me what you have in stock.
Уже лучше разобрать это. Дверь, а вы...
It's locked, all right.
Было бы неплохо оттуда выйти, это там. Покойнички. Быстро мы их... Я думаю, дверь уже открывается. А он там был, бурдак. Да и то. С глазами светится, какой-то. Спокойно-то. Пусть-мусь. Пойдемте-ка глянем. Ты из него оборотней. Да ядрён. Нервничает. Сейчас мы его там пойдем погладим. Согреем. Ой. Ты за спиной. Помню. Так, ну вроде бы... Да. Кого не надо тоже будет.
Distribute flowers at this hour of night.
This elixir will give you faith again.
The West End. Never have I felt so sad to be back home.
Это что получается, его район? Съедобного. Так. Погнали. Ничего не было.
Please stop crying, Mary. Your brother will return. I know it in my heart. What are you hiding from your wife, my love? You are so mysterious these days. Jonathan, why don't you ever invite friends over to our house?
Так это я получается. Комитет здравоохранения предупреждает. Есть тут?
Jonathan, my dear, bring me my glasses. I feel like reading.
Я не знаю, где твоя очечка.
Good evening.
Jonathan, is it you? Where have you been, my prodigal son?
I'm right here, Mother. I'm finally home.
Yes, but this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now found. But where is your sister? Where is Mary?
Mary? She is gone, Mother.
I know she's gone. The question is, when will she return as you have? I miss my grandson so much. It's been days since their last visit.
Mother, do you know what's been going on in this area?
Not really. I don't go out much due to the epidemic, and when I do, I tend to get lost.
What do you mean you get lost? I hope you don't go outside alone.
Of course not. When I go out, your father always comes with me, but he leaves me there sometimes, and I have trouble finding the way back.
Have you returned to Whitechapel Cemetery since Mary's funeral?
I never want to go back to that awful place. Wait. I think I went back once. And you were there too. And Mary? No, that can't be true.
It was just a bad dream, Mother.
A nightmare, yes. Mary was so angry. I walked back home alone. If that kind policeman had not called Avery from the station, I don't know what would have happened.
А, вот так даже.
Why do you say Mary is visiting you, Mother? You know that's impossible.
Why should it be? Are you not standing in front of me right now? Why should it be any different with your sister?
But I'm not dead, Mother. I'm really here, talking to you. trying not to cry.
Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. But of course you're dead, my darling boy. Just look at you, as pale as my Mary.
But Mary really is dead, Mother.
Yes. And are you not dead too? Isn't your father dead? And my grandson, and my son-in-law, you're all gone. But you all still visit me from time to time.
У маман, по-моему, крыша едет.
Do you need anything, Mother? Can I help you?
I just want you to stay with me, Jonathan. Your room is ready. I asked Avery to make your bed.
I'll stay as long as I can, I promise. Do you need anything else?
Just one thing. Stop staring at me like that. As much as I love you, it breaks my heart to look at those empty and dead eyes.
Are you working on a new painting?
Not recently. I have trouble focusing on my subject and my mind quickly drifts. It's the same thing when I try to write poetry.
I recently met a talented painter with an excellent technique. I wish you two could meet. I'm sure you'd like her.
I'd be glad to meet her. What is her name? Is she famous? Is she dead too?
She's not famous, and her name is of no importance. And yes, she's also dead.
The important thing is, I hope you two get along. If she ever fancies meeting your mother, I'd be glad to welcome her into my home.
Goodbye, Mother. Try to rest now.
Goodbye, son. Please come back soon.
Надо нам исследовать тоже шикарный домик. Доктор наш не совсем из бедной семьи. Который уломаешь.
I remember Sunday walks in the park.
Интересно. Письмо от отца, что ли?
I'm not sure visiting Italy is a good idea this time of the year.
Так, попасть бы в мамкину хатку, в комнату. Наверное, что-нибудь интересное. Это тот слуга, который привел. Это было. Явно батя знал, что ты знал его. Вот он. Вот так. Картина очень интересная.
Good evening, Avery.
Mr. Jonathan? I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, it's a miracle. We all thought you were...
А почему вы все так думали?
Sir, your poor sister. What a tragedy.
I know, Avery. I know about my sister's murder.
Miss Reed expected you to return to assist with the funeral, right up until the last minute. Where have you been, Mr. Jonathan? We needed you here.
How is my mother?
Not well, I'm afraid, sir. Miss Reed is very fragile since the police brought her back home.
The police? What happened?
Miss Reed was found walking in the streets. She kept saying she had spoken with her son and daughter. She's resting now.
Perhaps we could arrange a short trip. Somewhere sunny, like France. She has always been very fond of France. I think leaving London could do her good.
I'm afraid Miss Reed is too frail for the moment. Recently, she started going out at night without remembering it. I have to watch her carefully.
Has she received appropriate medical care?
I'm taking care of Miss Reed myself. Hospitals are so overwhelmed by the epidemic that they can only accept patients infected by influenza.
I'm sorry I could not be here for Mary's funeral.
Your mother was strong, sir, but your support would have been appreciated. Apart from the priest and I.
Ну не вышло, мы видели, но не вышло, нельзя.
To be present at the funeral with you both was my dearest wish, Avery. But I am sorry, I simply could not attend.
I would not dare to question your absence, Mr. Jonathan. All I can say is that we missed you a great deal during these difficult days.
Хорошо, что слуга есть такой.
What is the situation in this part of town?
For a time, the West End seemed spared by the epidemic. But the situation is getting much worse.
Have you no relatives anywhere? I'll understand if you want to take a few days to see family.
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as long as I take care of this house, sir. My sisters are dead, and I've never met my nephews. I'll stay, sir.
Жаль. Мужик, оставайся, оставайся.
I found an old letter written by my father and addressed to me. Do you know anything about it, Avery?
Your father wanted me to give you this letter for your 35th birthday, but you left for the war, and the letter remained in his office until tonight.
I realize now you knew my father better than I did. Do you know why he left, Avery? Did he ever speak to you about his departure?
No, sir. Mr. Reed was not exactly forthcoming. Perhaps this letter will give you the information you require.
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I live.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir, so my task is not over.
Бедный, бедный дворецкий.
You have served this family extremely well, Avery. Your support during these terrible times is much appreciated.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
You really think I don't take enough care of my mother, Avery?
Yes, I do, Mr. Jonathan.
You clearly have something more to say. Speak your mind, Avery.
I know you work hard to help the sick, but what will you do once the epidemic is over?
My home is here, and I have nowhere else to go. But this house will need some improvements if I move here. Some radical changes.
That's good news. Whatever changes you have in mind, I'm sure we will find an arrangement that suits your mother also.
Нужна еще одна подсказочка для полного счастья. Будьте здоровы.
Goodbye, Avery. Please watch over my mother until I return.
Это кто там стоит?
Where shall I eat tonight?
На интернет.
Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing you.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I welcome you.
Well, I must admit it's good to receive a warm welcome for once. I'm Jonathan Reed.
Welcome, Dr. Reed. Welcome to my humble shop.
How is the situation in this?
Life is good and peaceful. We're lucky to live in such an era of progress and wonder.
Are you not concerned about the epidemic?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the danger were that high.
You cannot...
Well, that's news then. But I can't believe that things are that bad. Are you sure you're not exaggerating a bit? For the thrill of it?
What can you tell me about this place?
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city. I'd be glad to share the address if you want.
I must confess, I have quite specific tastes when it comes to nutrition.
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals. If you ever find an intriguing table, please share the address.
Finding...
Он обжора, по-моему.
Is that really all that interests you?
Oh, I have many passions, but nothing brings me ecstasy like subtle and exquisite flavors from my teeth to my belly.
В здоровом теле здоровый дух.
Is it not a little too late to betray?
On the contrary, it is the perfect hour. Believe me, my friend, it is always at night that you meet the most fascinating characters.
So you prefer to work at...
Oh, I also enjoy a sunny day like everybody else. But the night...
So you prefer to work at night?
Oh,
But what about the epidemic? The bombs and raids? And all the random violence?
Please, sir, this is London, England. We will prevail. And if a bomb must fall on my shop, then I'll be there to hear it falling.
Энтузиаст он, энтузиаст.
Do you have any family nearby?
Not since my parents died. I'm London's lone gourmet.
London's lone gourmet. What a strange title.
I used that name in my early years when I was a food critic, and I kept it.
Really? But you seem to be such a pleasant and sociable fellow.
I'm afraid the real hedonist has to be sometimes. I discovered ecstasy as a solitary pleasure, but it does not mean it can't ever be shared.
I may have a look at your goods, Mr.
Дорогое удовольствие, падла.
The Ascalon Club, the heart of British vampire society. Not quite as subtle as I expected. Good evening, miss.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't...
Wait.
Don't what?
Your mother. I understand she also... What do you think?
I was raped.
Yes.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
Is there something that...
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable...
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
What are you doing?
You mean, what do I do outside at night, since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt. No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
Who are your real...
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see. One day, I'll have my death to face.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
What exactly has your...
Your name and profession, obviously, and the mystery about your maker.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reed? Or you?
Да. Хорошо, девчонки, воспитывай.
Of course not. You have nothing to fear from me, or your mother.
Good to know. And don't worry, my mother told me everything I need to know about vampire tricks, their nature as well as features.
Your mother is not like any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reed.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How was it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Your mother has refused to turn you into a vampire. Tell me more about it.
Each time we argue, Mother expresses the same fear. She wants me to remain alive and full of joy, rather than become...
Your mother has walked this earth for much longer than you or I. She is wise, and we should not ignore her advice when we disagree with it.
But why shouldn't I be allowed to forge my own experience? There can't be only one righteous way to deal with eternity.
It's your mother's choice. As daughters and sons, we have to accept the decisions our parents make for us despite our own wishes.
I love my mother and have accepted everything from her. Even that she named me Charlotte when it was not my original name.
Does it bother you?
No. Whoever I was when I was born, I am now Charlotte Ashbury. It hurts as much as it makes me proud to know that's the name my mother will read on my tombstone.
Так, одной подсказки не хватает.
Why do you still hope to become a vampire in spite of your mother's refusal?
It's the immortal aspect of vampires that interests me. The world won't improve unless women take charge. I'm convinced of that.
You're obviously a clever woman with a good education and a brilliant future. But have you thought about the price you'd have to pay? The loneliness, the necessary masquerade.
Is it not true of every high position? To change this world and make it a better place, one needs time on one side.
Tell me, Charlotte, how do you plan to achieve eternal life, since you've obviously given it a lot of thought?
I won't give up. You have no idea how determined I am, sir. I may contract a deadly disease. I may throw myself under a carriage, just to be saved by her sweet kiss.
That's a disturbing answer, young lady. And the worst part of it is, I know you speak the truth.
There are less dangerous ways, Doctor. Instead of throwing myself under a horse like Emily Davison, I could just throw myself into your arms.
Be careful what you wish for, young lady. I could gaze at you right now and then take you to a shady corner and have my way with you. And leave your carcass to the rats.
You wouldn't dare. My mother would know. She'd never forgive you.
How could she suspect me? Do you know how many vampires are lurking in the city tonight as we speak?
Да, я совсем по-другому повел разговор.
For one second I thought you actually... Excellent, Dr. Reed. Very convincing.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Anything suspicious recently?
Good evening, sir. May I have your attention, please?
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your oldest friend?
Clarence. Clarence Crossley. How are you? My God. So you survived the war too. So sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
I almost didn't recognize you either. War does that to men, I heard. In my case, it was true, for I witnessed the horror that lies underneath.
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
What is this new battle?
I saw terrible things during the war. Horrors I thought I'd forget. They're here.
I know what you mean. I haven't had much time to think about the war either since my return.
Of course. The epidemic, I bet you've been busy as well. Forgive me, Johnny, I didn't want to sound selfish.
Do you need medical assistance, Clarence?
It's a little late for visiting hours, don't you think?
What can I say? I haven't lost my habits.
But we're talking about the same habits, old friend.
How is your wife, Venus?
We've spent so much time away from each other. And so many things have happened.
Is everything all right at home? Surely Venus was relieved to see you return from France in one piece.
Have you forgot what people are like in this part of town, Johnny? Venus fears for our family reputation. Now her husband has become the village idiot.
But you're alive. You returned in one piece and you have a family. How many soldiers can say the same?
Believe me, it's not quite that simple. Unlike you, I'm not the man I used to be.
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
I know what you... What is this new battle?
I saw terrible things during the war. Horrors I thought I'd forget. They're here too. They're everywhere. Vampires.
Он что, стал охотником на вампиров?
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
The night is so peaceful. I understand exactly what that poet meant the other night.
Что-то его лавочка совсем пустая. Он там подсказки какие-нибудь.
He's mine! Mine, vermin!
Курва! Это я не углядел на свой.
Believe I'm doing this.
Так, ну что, давайте выходите. Двери отперли.
Women's right to vote is only the first step. Women die too in this war.
Даже театр вампирчиков припомнил.
Good evening, miss. Can I help you? I'm a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I am Karina Billow. I don't need any doctor. The rats. Where are the rats?
Miss, you don't seem well at all. Are you afraid of rats? Has one bitten you?
No, it's me who bites them. Tasty, juicy, disgusting rats. I can't stop eating them. Help me, please. Help me to disobey the voice.
Что-то с ней интересно.
What happened to you?
The rats. The answer hides in their little crunchy bones, their juicy, tiny brains, the voice in my head. He forces me to do so. Drink their blood, he said. Eat their flesh.
Tell me about the voice in your head. Who is it? Can you describe it? Is it someone you know? Someone you met?
Keep your mouth shut, he said. Don't ever speak about me or I'll abandon you. Help me, please, Doctor.
Do you feel compelled to obey that voice, Miss Billow? Even if you're loath to submit to it?
Yes. Please. Help.
Tell me about yourself, Miss Billow. What do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm hungry. Need to eat. Have you got something for me? Blood, perhaps? Can you give me blood, Dr. Reed?
Don't you remember who you are, miss? What you did for work?
I was strong, proud. I campaigned for good causes. But that was before. Before. It does not matter anymore. I'm so hungry.
What is the local news?
Shadows. Shadows hunting shadows. Whispers in the dark. Pestilence. Suffering. Death.
Ее наверняка дубинкой перетянули.
I must go now. Goodbye, Miss Billow.
Rats.
I must go now.
Стой, мадам. Что-то ты не договариваешь.
Tasty rats. Those clever rodents are cautious now. They won't approach.
Ты крысами пахнешь, поэтому они к тебе не подходят.
Tell me about vampires, Karina. You must have met one recently.
He promised he would help me, give me immortality, make me escape this world of death. He promised.
Who is he? How did you meet him?
I can't tell you, Doctor. He won't let me.
This vampire is as powerful as he is wicked.
Help me, please, Dr. Reed. Help me.
Karina, I order you to reveal to me the name of the vampire who took control of your will. Speak their name.
Don't you dare interfere with my game, Ekon. Go find yourself your own toy and let me play with mine.
Who are you? Reveal yourself. Let this woman be.
Why? What would be the fun in that? It's so amusing to see her defile herself, one bite at a time.
Интересно, что там за мода?
I must go now. Goodbye, Miss Billow.
You cannot forget his name. I can't continue like this. This disgusting smell. I can't continue like this.
Она ему отказала, а он ее превратился в меркантильное животное.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Jonathan, is that you? I did not know you were back in London. Oh, my dear Johnny, I'm so sorry for your loss. Mary was such a sweetheart.
Thank you, Venus. May I come in?
I was going to bed, actually.
Forgive me. With the epidemic, I tend to forget people are supposed to sleep at night.
I'll tell you what. Come back tomorrow for tea. I'll be glad to see you then.
you noticed anything suspicious recently? Remember, don't let any strangers come into your house.
Stay up, look at it! Close, he's dead!
Crush the leak!
Kill it all you deserve. Londoners are no match.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Do you need help, sir?
I think I'm fine. But what happened to my jailer? Be careful. He's as vicious as he is strong.
You don't have to worry about him anymore. What happened here?
I am Tadao Kimura. I was imprisoned by this lunatic for several days. I thought I was going to die here.
You're not going to die now, Mr. Kimura. If you hurry, you should be able to get home safely.
It seems that I owe you my life. You have all my gratitude, Dr. Reed, since it is the most precious thing I possess.
Goodbye, Mr. Kimura. Take care. Are you sure you'll manage to reach the West End by yourself, Mr. Kimura?
Yes, I'm perfectly capable of defending myself when not ambushed by insane cultists.
Goodbye, Mr. Kimura. Take care. can't believe I'm doing this.
Так, ну посмотрим другой вариант. Перестали болеть. Надо в больницу. Ну что, господа хорошие, я думаю, мы с вами на этом закончим, а потом продолжим чуть попозже. Это надо и позавтракать, пообедать и пополднить, все в одну. Спасибо, что смотрели. Заходите вечерком на продолжение. Занимательные игрульки.